Jessica Craven. I am a voter. I live in Los Angeles, but I'm calling because I understand that the Democrats are about to cave and give in to a deal with the Republicans, which they are basically getting nothing out of. And they are certainly not getting ACA premium tax credit extensions. They're getting a promise from Republicans who make a career of lying every time they open their mouths. I want to remind you that left-leaning voters just gave Democrats a wave election that was historic. And for you guys to now turn around and cave without getting anything would be so deeply insulting to all of us who just did all of this hard work. Do not take your voters for granted. Do not throw us under the bus. And Senator Schumer, if Democrats do cave in this situation, I'm asking you respectfully to step down. You absolutely are unable to lead in this moment. This isn't what we want. It's not what Democrats should do. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Obamacare. What has been your experience with it? Has it worked for Americans? Is it a big scam? What is Obamacare? Write down in the comments before we start this video. Here's why I say this. Because it is Obamacare, the reasoning behind all of it. Chuck Schumer is being kicked out of the Democratic Party to be replaced by AOC. There is a huge move for the Democrats to move all the way to the progressive side, Democratic Socialist side of the party. I'm going to show you the proof of what is going on. They're all moving to kick out Chuck Schumer. And here's the crazy part. Liberals are demanding Chuck Schumer immediately be ousted as minority leader in primary challenged by AOC. He is so cooked. Dude lost the grip on moderates in his party and now has pleased no one at all. Not the moderates, not the people who are coming from the right to the left. No, nobody at all. Trump politically pummeled him. Excuse me. So now I want to show you this video clip because this is the movement of what is happening between Democrats. There is a civil war breaking out between Democrats and super far left progressives who just so happens to be the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders of the world, and they're infighting for a Democrat. Does anybody remember what Democrat even used to be? Some of you guys were probably Democrats. That would be to the left or to the right of these Democrats of today. So that means that a Democrat from 2001 is not the same Democrat from 2025. Everything has changed. Super far left progressive have hijacked the Democrats. And boy, oh boy, this is what they're doing to Chuck Schumer. They're getting him up out of here.
I believe that there are Democrats all across the nation right now that are watching this screen, watching this with us. And there is a lot of political backlash against their Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, for exactly what we're watching take place right now.
Tonight, a growing number of Democrats are calling for Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to step down.
You know, respect his service, but time to move on.
It comes after 7 Senate Democrats and 1 independent took a Republican deal to break the filibuster and reopen the government without securing the one issue they'd been fighting for, extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Progressive Congressman Ro Khanna calling Schumer, who did not vote for the deal, no longer effective and should be replaced. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib adding, Senator Schumer has failed to meet this moment and is out of touch with the American people. Schumer should step down.
I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement, but waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome.
Senate Republicans did promise to give Democrats a vote on the extension sometime in December. That doesn't mean, though, that it's guaranteed to pass or that House Speaker Mike Johnson would give it a vote.
No, I can't guarantee that.
Some Democrats call the deal a mistake and a betrayal, the House leader vowing to oppose the package.
We're not going to stop the fight. We're going to continue to lean into the fight.
And
what does that even mean? What does that even mean? So yes, they are looking to oust, get him up out of here. He's been kicked out. Nobody wants anything to do with Chuck Schumer. And what is the future of the Democratic Party? Well, here's a video that I thought was very interesting to see. Ro Khanna and Crystal Ball from Breaking Point were speaking of what exactly they wanted from Chuck Schumer. And it seems that they want Chuck Schumer and whoever is going to lead the party, because this is the party leader and he's getting hate from all sides because he is just a Democrat who, again, is not a super far left progressive. So here's what they want. And this is going to create a civil war between Democrats and far leftists. There is a huge difference between them. And boy, oh boy, if you are looking toward the midterms, and we're talking about these people just finished cooking in the elections, right? Even though there are areas that they won that were expected to be blue no matter what. But this is the worst thing that can happen to them, because now the party is splitting. Now the party is splitting right before our very eyes, right before 2026 midterms. And Trump literally is announcing that he has an idea of a $2,000 dividend check of actually going on and giving insurance money to the people. So they are noticing that Trump is starting to play them, and actually play them so far to the left that a lot of people are saying that what Trump is doing is that he's playing into what socialists want. And he's going to do that while also still giving conservatives what they want. Now, here is exactly what I'm talking about.
I think the point he makes there, too, about Chuck Schumer refusing to even say who he voted for in New York City, I think it's an important one as well. Because if you're going to be a leader of the Democratic Party, and the Democratic base is saying, hey, this is Zohran Mamdani. This is our guy. Like, we like this guy. We like the direction he's going for. We're going to vote for him in the primary. We're going to show up in record-breaking numbers to vote for him in the general election, make sure that he wins. And you can't even say that you voted for the Democratic candidate. I mean, how out of step are you with your own voters in the party, let alone, your own caucus, let alone, colleagues such as you? But he's also, and most importantly, wildly out of step with where his own voters are within the Democratic Party.
So you're absolutely right. I mean, look, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. You had Chuck Schumer cheerleading into the war in Iraq. You've had Chuck Schumer cheerleading for a blank check to Netanyahu. You've had Chuck Schumer betraying us on the first shutdown. You then had Chuck Schumer given multiple opportunities after Zohran won the primary to at least endorse him, even if it was a pro forma endorsement. He doesn't do that. And now he's not even willing to fight to make sure that the ACA subsidies don't increase. So to your earlier question about, are there difficult questions on SNAP benefits and troop pay? Of course there are. And maybe if this was the only context, Chuck Schumer would have some grace and goodwill and say, okay, we disagree with this deal, but it's not enough to call for you to step down. But this is the culmination of someone who just doesn't get it, who doesn't get how much people are hurting, who doesn't get where the base of this party is, who doesn't get how upset this party has been that we're giving all this money to overseas wars and not doing healthcare here, who certainly is never going to support Medicare for all. He's just out of touch. He's not the future of the party.
He is not the future of the party. You heard it there, right? I played it loud and clear. This is a Democrat Congressman, Ro Khanna from California. He was speaking about the future of the Democratic Party, that they need to move more far to the left. They need to endorse candidates like Zohran Mamdani. They need to do it because that's where Democrats of today are heading. And that is very bad news for regular, everyday American Democrats, because not all of them believe in socialism. In fact, majority of them do not believe in socialism, which is why you see a Chuck Schumer probably, and you see you even see a Hakeem Jeffries still not going full blown supporting what the Democratic Socialists of America are. So there is an infight between DSA and everyday Democrats. Who will be captured and how will it happen? Well, I'm not sure. But one thing I do know is that Democrats have fully turned on Chuck Schumer. Here's President Trump speaking of Chuck Schumer, that he might have went too far. What is he saying? Take a listen.
So knives are out, it looks like, for Chuck Schumer. Ro Khanna is already calling for him to be replaced. What message do you have for Schumer tonight?
Well, I think he made a mistake in going too far. Going
too far, how?
Well, he just went too far. He thought he could break the Republicans, and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that we have good policy, they have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or are they just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics. But, we have just great policy. We have good people.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Well, there you have it. Trump saying that he tried to break the Democrats. I mean, he tried to break the Republicans so much that he ended up breaking up the Democrats and breaking it himself. He tried his best. He ended up breaking himself. Right? And again, let's actually go check in on what is happening on MSNBC after the shutdown. What's the meltdown like over there? Because we know all the Democrats have turned on 8 Democrats who, again, voted with Republicans to end the shutdown. And, mostly every Democrat is pretty much done with Chuck Schumer. So what's happening on MSNBC?
It's strange, Dean, to go back to the original sort of part of this conversation of whether he is a good deal maker. I mean, in a way, it seems like the president is kind of getting what he wanted 40 days ago when all this started. He was out there saying that, oh, this is all about Democrats trying to give health care to illegal immigrants. He just said that to reporters moments ago, repeated that refrain that Democrats had actually very successfully pushed back against. Then there's all this energy. In the wake of the election on Tuesday, the president made remarks saying basically, wow, Republicans are being harmed by all of this, acknowledging that he was on his back foot. And now here he is winning again? How did he do it?
The Democrats, I don't understand how a Democratic senator goes, wow, we won really big. Let me cave now. I don't understand. That makes no sense to me.
Well, maybe to Anthony's point, if they were cynical, like if we wanted just to hold this out until we get through the election and then.
Well, that's what they really wanted to do. They really wanted to do, again, it all goes back to DSA, in my opinion, Democratic Socialists of America. What is the plan for them to take over the Democrat Party to then now go and live by those same principles? I don't think every Democrat wants that, which is why you see the infighting between old school Democrats and new school Democrats. And that's why you see the rise of the new school Democrats in big cities. You will start to see them in even bigger cities as more people go and get into this type of mentality of socialism will work in the United States of America. So in my opinion, Chuck Schumer bit off more than he could chew. And again, Democrats, what they don't tell you is that the areas that they won in, most of them, right? Cheryl's of the world, Spanberger, by the way, as well. I think there were like 3-4 Democrats that won in these areas that were supposed to be won by a Democrat, right? That did have some type of challenge by a Republican, don't get me wrong. But New York City was won by a Democratic socialist. That's not Democrat. Democrats are people, I can name you a lot of Democrats who I believe are capitalist, right? There's a lot of people in New York City who are capitalist, who are Democrat. So there is a huge divide within the party. There you hear Trump will win again, or Trump is winning again because of the fact that there is an infight between the Chuck Schumers of the world and the AOCs of the world, the squads of the world versus the Chuck Schumers of the world. And that's why Chuck Schumer is being ousted from the Democratic Party.